This is Paul Kelly for ASBR Boxing. Delighted to be joined by the Ring Magazine Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Jai Opetaia. Jai, how are things? Are you keeping well?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good.
We're recording this about a month out from your fight on May 18th in Saudi Arabia, fighting for the suppose now vacant IBF title, your old belt. Are you excited to get back in the ring for the first time this year?
Definitely. Man, I can't wait. I want to win this belt back and I want to win it back convincingly.
You have the chance of becoming a two-time world champion, obviously having relinquished the belt and now fighting for the IBF once again. Is that something that appeals to you? The fact that, not very many people can call themselves a two-time world champion?
But it should be and still, you know what I mean? Not in two time, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, it's unfolded like this, but we are fighting for the belt again. So, there's a positive as well. So, but we just get in there and we do what we do. I'm excited to box and put a stamp on this fight. I feel like I've got to prove it again. You know what I mean, and just to be a bit more convincing.
You mentioned there the whole situation that unfolded with the belt before, having to give up the belt, and now you're fighting for it again. Does that add? Is there an added incentive there at all? Was that frustrating for you? How did that all play out?
Yeah, it was a bit of frustrating at the time, but it is what it is. You know what I mean. We just focus on the fights. There's always a lot of outside noise. Um, but yeah, it all worked in our favor. You know, they took it off me for one fight, and now I'm fighting for the next fight. So it's weird, but it is. Man, we can't complain about shit. You know what I mean? That's just how shit works out. So we just got to learn to roll with the punches in and outside the ring.
Absolutely, you're 100% right. This is two successive fights for yourself out in Riyadh, having fought obviously in December as well, Jai. Do you like it out there? What do you think of the whole Saudi experience?
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's great to be a part of it. I feel like the Saudis have really raised the bar. You know what I mean? The way they do it is just so professional. Everything's organized, and you honestly don't get much better than it. Well, I haven't experienced much better than that, but yeah, and I'm excited to go back over. So you know, and to be a part of such a big fight as well. Semi-main to Tyson Fury and Usyk, it's huge. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of eyes on it, but these things don't happen by accident. I've earned my spot here, and I'm looking to earn it once again. Show why I am the best cruiserweight in the world.
Absolutely, absolutely. When is it you fly out to Saudi? Get acclimatized to the time zone difference and stuff?
Yeah, we're flying out here on the 7th. We'll be there for about 10 days.
Nice one. Happy days, happy days. Obviously, a familiar face will be in the other corner. Maris Breedis. His last fight was against yourself. Obviously, you've had two in the interim against Elizaro and Jordan Thompson. Do you feel any pressure now that it's the other way around, if you know what I mean? Going into the first Breedis fight, I think a lot of people saw you as the underdog, but now it's completely flipped on its head, and everyone's seeing Breedis as the underdog. Does that change the mentality at all for yourself, Jai?
There's pressure on me for every single fight, every time I'm in the ring. You know what I mean? Losing to me is not an option. So every single fight I walk into, it is do or die for me. You know what I mean? So I treat it like any other fight. I'm not even thinking about who's the favorite or who's this. I'm just trying to perfect the craft every day, fit strong, smart, stay sharp, fight smart. You know what I mean? It's just, well, I'm built for this shit. So, I just can't wait to get in the ring and do what I do.
Absolutely. And obviously, as I mentioned, British, you've been in there, you've shared 12 rounds with him before. Do you read anything into that? Do you take a whole lot from that? Or are you preparing for a different Breedis?
We've prepared for everything. You know what I mean? We're prepared for a brawl. We're prepared for a box. We're fit enough to do whatever we need to do. Um, I'm curious to see how he comes out this one. You know what I mean? I feel like he's got to come out a bit more aggressive. He's going to really try and make it an ugly fight and do his little tactics to sort of get under it and stuff like that. But we'll be ready. I think the fighter I was when I first fought him to who I am today, it's a complete different version of myself. You know what I mean? Like with Breedis, he's trying his hardest to sort of maintain and you know what I mean. He's trying to maintain his peak, but with me, I didn't even fight him at my peak. You know, and I feel like I'm just reaching my peak now. You know, like I feel way stronger, way faster, better. Like I'm training every day. I'm constantly leveling up. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's the opposite with him. I feel like he's trying to maintain that level that he's been on for quite a while. So you know, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You know, I'm the things he's done for the cruiserweight division, the achievements he has, it's amazing. You know what I mean? I take my hat off to him. He's had his time though. You know, I said this before the first time we fought. He was a great fighter, but I am the next generation of great coming through, and I just got to prove this once again.
What will the difference be this time around? Do you think you could stop Breedis this time?
I definitely feel like I can stop him. You know what I mean? But in saying that, I'm not going to go chasing a stoppage. You know, if the stoppage comes, it comes. You know, we fight smart. You know, I got heavy hands, and I've only had you know, I had a surgery on my left hand. Like I fought for such a long time with one handed. You know, my left hand I could never really sort of let it go without it hurting me. So, you know, I've had a surgery and I've only had my left hand for about I think 4 fights now. You know, and Breedis when I first fought Breedis, that was my second fight with it. So just being able to sort of take it to the next level and even something as simple as hitting pads and stuff like that, you know, like I'm able to let my hands go on the bag and the pads now. So it's just taking it to a whole new level, you know. I can sit down on my punches and I don't always got to throw it like it's a jab, you know what I mean? I used to throw my left hand like it was a jab instead of a knockout punch, but it's just changed the game, but it's added things to my game, you know what I mean? I feel like a whole better version of who I was. So it's exciting.
Looking at the cruiserweight division, now you're obviously the Ring Magazine champion, Jai. Got the IBF on the line here. Obviously, the other champions, Gilberto Ramirez, has got the WBA now. Michelajin's got the WBC. Billum Smith, WBO. Do you feel like you're the best 200-pound fighter in the world?
Yeah, I do. I do. You know, I feel like I've proved it, and it's easy to sit here and say that. You know what I mean? It's easy to sit here and say, "Yeah, I'm the best. I'm the best." But I'm ready to fight. You know, I've got to prove it every time I step in the ring. So, you know, sitting here saying it, it doesn't mean much. I've got to keep proving it every time I'm in the ring. I've got to keep proving it. You know, and so that's what I just got to do. I just got to focus on training. I've got to focus on progressing, getting better, surrounding myself with people who have the same vision, and that's how you become the great. You know what I mean? It's not sitting here in interview saying you're great. It's the way you act and the way you perform. So that's how I've got to leave it to.
Absolutely, absolutely. Is the goal to become undisputed? Is that something that really attracts you? And it's very possible now with the whole Saudi involvement. We've seen quite a lot of undisputed clashes. Obviously, the heavyweight fight on your card, but is that the ultimate goal?
For sure. You know, being man, unifying with the whole division, that's what it's about. You know, being the undisputed champion. If it was up to me, I would be, you know, my last 2 fights would have been for more world titles. You know what I mean? Like, but I've just been fighting whoever the hell they put in front of me. You know what I mean? I can't control other people's decisions, so I just got to sort of do my job, and I got to trust my team to do their job. You know what I mean? I'm not the one putting the fights together, but as long as I keep performing well, training hard, I feel like the rest will fall into place.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're seeing Chris Billon Smith facing Richard Riakporhe in a rematch. Obviously, two Brits, world title. Obviously, interest for yourself there as well. Two questions kind of to this one, Jai. A, who do you think wins that fight? And B, is it realistic to think that you could maybe fight the winner before the end of the year?
Definitely, I feel like I should fight the winner. Whoever wins that fight, man, I'll take the winner next. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a great fight to be made. You know, I feel like both those fighters are great fighters, and that that's how you prove you are the best is fighting those type of fights. You know what I mean? Not sitting here in interviews and talking shit. I want to prove it. You know, I want to beat the great fighters, and I want to earn their respect. You know what I mean? Every time someone steps out of the ring with me, I want them to go, "Fuck, that he is good." You know what I mean? And that's where respect's earned. That's the respect I love. You know, not who dresses the best or who wears the fancy clothes and the diamonds and stuff like that. I'm a fighter, I'm born around this sport. You know, I grew up watching great fighters. You know, it wasn't so much what they did outside the ring; it's the way they fought in the ring and the way they held themselves. So I just want to be like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have to ask you, there was a lot made of you and obviously Tyson Fury sparring, loads of rumors flying about. Did that really annoy you at all? Does it annoy you when rumors and stuff get made up and thrown about, or does it just water off a duck's back?
Yeah, they're just words. You know, it's you learn to sort of deal with the social media. It was annoying at the start when it was all sort of happening. I was just like, what the? Because they were legit just lies. You know, like people were just like I was seeing some boxing pages saying they had footage of me like our sparring and stuff like that, and things were happening in the sparring, and it's legit. People are just lying. You know, it's just crazy the world out there. You know, the social media world, and you know, you just can't believe everything you read. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. It's all in a way. It was all publicity. You know, so yeah.
Yeah, publicity, as you say. Speaking of Tyson Fury, he's obviously the main event against Usyk, undisputed clash. How do you see that fight playing out, Jai?
Man, I'm excited for it. You know, honestly, I wouldn't be able to sit here and pick a winner confidently. You know, like I feel like they both have the tools to win the fight. They're both great fighters. You know, I feel like it's going to come down to who executes their game plan the best on fight night. You know what I mean? I feel like they both can win the fight. You know what I mean? But it's just if they both use their strengths and you know someone rocks up having a shit day, the other one's fucking definitely taking it on. You know what I mean? And that happens in the boxing world. You know, it's a big fight. You know, they have to be 100% prepared. So I think that's where it's going to be won in the preparation.
Absolutely. And just finally, I want to get one more prediction on another fight. And before we get back to yourself, it's Saudi June 1st, the undisputed clash at light heavyweight, obviously the weight division below you. How do you see that one going between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol?
Um, that's another great fight, and I'm a massive fan of Bivol. You know, like I really respect the way he fights. The other guy, like he's just strange. Eh? He's just so powerful. Like the way when I watch him, I just think, wow, how is he just doing that to people? You know what I mean? Like the way he sort of knocks him out and creeps in and stuff like that. He looks easy to hit, but people aren't hitting him, sort of thing. So you know, styles make fights. That's another fight I'm excited to watch. You know what I mean? And if those boys want to come up the cruiserweight and do a super fight, man, I'd love that too.
Absolutely. You want the smoke with everyone. And just finally, Jai, back to yourself. What can we expect, boxing fans and everyone tuning in on May 18th for your fight? What can we expect from you?
I expect a good fight, man. I've been training hard. I'm fit. I'm strong. But whatever needs to be done, you know, losing isn't an option for me. You know, I just think about winning this fight every single day. So, you know, it's going to be good. I'm pumped.
And if I had to push you, do you think you're going to stop him this time?
If the stoppage comes, it comes. But all I think about is just winning every round. You know what I mean? If the opening happens and he's hurt, I'm capitalizing on it. Don't worry about that. But, you know, I'm just got to fight smart and do what I do best, and that's box.
Brilliant, Jai. Well, listen, thanks very much for speaking to ASBR Box. An absolute pleasure to have you on. Really appreciate your time, and I'll speak to you again soon.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.